Welcome to Global Hub Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. October 25, 2025. The world's attention is once again drawn to the West Philippine Sea, where tensions are reaching a boiling point. The West Philippine Sea, a region long fraught with disputes and rival claims, is once again a flashpoint for international conflict. The calm surface of these waters hides a storm of geopolitical rivalry and national pride. Dozens of Chinese maritime militia vessels have converged near Ayungin Shoal, forming an intimidating blockade. They aggressively shadow and encircle Philippine supply boats, which are on a critical mission to resupply the BRP Sierra Madre, a grounded ship that serves as a symbol of Philippine sovereignty. The situation has escalated rapidly. Water cannons have been fired between Coast Guard ships, and the vessels now maneuver dangerously close, narrowly avoiding collisions in the rough, unpredictable sea. The risk of a direct clash grows with every passing hour. This latest confrontation follows the passage of the Philippines' new Maritime Zones Act, a landmark law that solidifies and clarifies the country's territorial claims in these contested waters. Lawmakers in Manila see it as a crucial step in defending national interests. President Marcos Jr. has taken a firm stance, appearing on national television, to condemn China's intimidation tactics. He vows that the Philippines will not yield an inch of its territory, rallying the nation to stand united in the face of external pressure. In response, Beijing issues stern warnings, accusing the Philippines of provocation and insisting that China's actions are justified. The rhetoric from both sides grows sharper, fueling uncertainty in the region. The United States, a long-standing ally of the Philippines, quickly reaffirms its defense treaty obligations. American officials warn that any armed attack on Philippine forces would trigger mutual defense commitments, raising the stakes for all involved. This standoff is about far more than just reefs or rocks. It's a high-stakes struggle for control over vast resources, freedom of navigation in some of the world's busiest sea lanes, and the upholding of international law. The outcome could set a precedent for maritime disputes everywhere. Beneath these contested waters lie vital oil and gas reserves, as well as rich fishing grounds that are essential for the livelihoods of millions of Filipinos. For many, this is not just a political issue, it's about survival and the future of their communities. The new law and the forthcoming official maritime map are the Philippines' latest tools in this David and Goliath struggle. They represent a bold assertion of sovereignty and a challenge to the status quo in the region. As tensions mount, rallies erupt in the streets of Manila, with citizens waving flags and demanding action. Meanwhile, the government intensifies diplomatic efforts, seeking support from ASEAN neighbors, European partners, and allies in North America to build a united front. Every move in this unfolding crisis is carefully calculated. Like a high-stakes game of chess, military commanders and policymakers know that a single misstep could trigger a conflict with far-reaching, even global consequences. The world watches with bated breath as the Philippines stands its ground against a rising superpower. The next chapter in this struggle will shape not only the fate of the West Philippine Sea, but the future of international order in Asia and beyond. China's claim to the South China Sea is symbolized by a shifting line on its maps. It began as an 11-dash line in 1947, later becoming the infamous 9-dash line, and most recently, a 10-dash line. This line encompasses nearly 90% of the South China Sea, cutting across the exclusive economic zones of the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. China asserts historical rights within this line, but its legal basis is vague and unrecognized internationally. The line's ambiguity allows Beijing flexibility, but it's also its greatest weakness. UNCLOS, which China has ratified, provides clear rules for maritime entitlements, rules the 9-dash line does not fit. China's evolving maps highlight the arbitrary nature of its claim. The international community rejects these historical narratives in favor of established law. The 9-dash line remains at odds with the modern, rules-based order. The Philippines counters China's claims with history, law, and a landmark legal victory. Its position is rooted in UNCLOS, granting a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, the West Philippine Sea. In 2013, the Philippines challenged China at an international tribunal, arguing the 9-dash line had no legal basis. The 2016 arbitral ruling was decisive. China's historic rights were invalidated, and key features were deemed rocks or low-tide elevations, not islands. China rejected the ruling, but it remains a powerful legal tool for the Philippines. The award transformed the dispute into a matter of settled international law. The Philippines now leverages this victory in diplomacy and law, including its new Maritime Zones Act. The Maritime Zones Act, signed in 2025, is the Philippines' legal shield in the West Philippine Sea. It codifies the nation's maritime boundaries in line with UNCLOS and the 2016 Arbitral Award. The law defines territorial sea, contiguous zone, EEZ, and continental shelf, leaving no ambiguity. This clarity empowers the government to patrol, manage resources, and enforce its rights. By enshrining the arbitral ruling, the act strengthens the Philippines' hand in future negotiations. It's a declaration. The Philippines will govern its seas by law, not coercion. The act aims to protect marine biodiversity, secure fishing grounds, and responsibly develop offshore resources. The Maritime Zones Act gives the Philippines clear legal authority over its waters. It establishes a 12 nautical mile territorial sea and a 24 nautical mile contiguous zone, following UNCLOS standards. The 200 nautical mile EEZ is where the Philippines has exclusive rights to resources, from fish to oil and gas. The law also covers the continental shelf, including resource-rich areas like the Philippine Rise. Philippine agencies now have a stronger mandate to act against intrusions and illegal activities. The Coast Guard and Navy can enforce the law with confidence and clarity. This legal framework shifts the Philippines from protest to proactive governance. The act is a game-changer in defending the nation's maritime domain. The 1734 Murillo Velarde map is a powerful piece of evidence in the Philippines case. Created by Spanish and Filipino artisans, it accurately depicted the archipelago and labeled features like Panatag Shoal as Philippine territory. The map refutes China's claim of first discovery and was presented as evidence in the 2016 arbitration. Former Justice Antonio Carpio called it the birth certificate of the Filipino nation. Beyond legal weight, the map is a source of national pride and historical identity. It proves the Philippines' connection to these waters is centuries old. In the face of China's narrative, the Murillo Velarde map stands as a silent, factual rebuttal. China cites ancient maps to justify its claims, but history tells a different story. For centuries, Chinese maps showed Hainan Island as the southernmost territory, never enclosing the South China Sea. The 9-dash line is a 20th century invention, absent from thousands of earlier maps. Sovereignty requires continuous, effective state authority, something imperial China never exercised over these distant features. The Philippines used this historical evidence at the Arbitral Tribunal, which found no proof of China's exclusive control. The sea has always been an international waterway, open to all. By challenging China's historical narrative, the Philippines dismantled the foundation of the 9-dash line. The Battle of Maps revealed China's historical rights as modern myth. History, not just law, is on the Philippines' side. The 2016 Hague ruling marked a historic turning point for both the Philippines and the broader landscape of international law. For years, tensions simmered in the South China Sea, with overlapping claims and rising confrontations. The world watched as the Philippines brought its case before the Permanent Court of Arbitration, seeking clarity and justice under international law. The tribunal's decision was clear. China's sweeping 9-dash line claim had no legal basis. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, took precedence over any vague historical assertions. This was a landmark affirmation that international treaties outweigh unilateral claims. By declaring the 9-dash line invalid, the tribunal erased the legal foundation for China's expansive claims. This sent shockwaves across the region and set a powerful legal precedent for other maritime disputes worldwide. The tribunal also clarified the status of features in the Spratly Islands. None were considered true islands capable of generating their own exclusive economic zones. Most were classified as mere rocks or low-tide elevations, incapable of supporting human habitation or economic life. Mischief Reef and Subi Reef, two key flashpoints, were ruled to be part of the Philippine continental shelf. This meant the Philippines had exclusive rights to resources in these areas, strengthening its sovereign claims. The tribunal found that China had violated the Philippines' sovereign rights by blocking fishing, interfering with oil exploration, and causing severe environmental damage to fragile coral reefs. These actions were condemned as breaches of international law and the rights of coastal states. China's large-scale artificial island building and military buildup in disputed waters were also condemned. The tribunal warned that such activities escalated tensions and threatened the marine environment. Despite the clear verdict, China rejected the ruling outright, refusing to recognize its authority. Yet the decision stands as a definitive statement of international law, recognized by much of the world. The award continues to shape regional diplomacy, emboldening Southeast Asian nations and strengthening the Philippines' legal position in ongoing negotiations and discussions. Globally, the ruling is seen as a precedent for upholding the rules-based order at sea, reinforcing the importance of peaceful dispute resolution and respect for international law. The Philippines' legal victory endures as a symbol of hope for smaller nations facing powerful neighbors. Despite China's defiance, the ruling remains a beacon for justice and the rule of law in the world's oceans. The Maritime Zones Act and the new official map are more than just legal documents. They are powerful declarations of Philippine identity, sovereignty, and resolve. These instruments symbolize the nation's determination to define and defend its rightful place in the world, especially in the face of ongoing maritime disputes. By translating the 2016 Arbitral Award into both law and cartography, the Philippines unifies its national position and sends a clear message to the international community. This act bridges the gap between legal victory and practical enforcement, ensuring that the country's claims are not just words on paper, but realities on the ground and at sea. The new map serves as a vital guide for the Coast Guard and Navy, clarifying exactly where to enforce the law, protect natural resources, and safeguard Filipino livelihoods. It empowers maritime forces with the clarity and confidence needed to patrol and defend the nation's waters. Diplomats now have a definitive reference to present the Philippines' case with clarity, authority, and unity. The map strengthens their arguments in international forums, making the country's position unmistakable and grounded in law. The map will be integrated into education and public discourse, helping future generations understand the importance of maritime sovereignty. It will foster a sense of pride and responsibility, strengthening national unity and awareness from classrooms to communities. This new map replaces decades of ambiguity and uncertainty with a clear, legal vision of the West Philippine Sea. It marks a turning point, providing a solid foundation for policy, defense, and diplomacy. The map solidifies the West Philippine Sea as an integral part of the nation, affirming the rights of Filipino fishermen and coastal communities who depend on these waters for their livelihood. While it won't end the conflict overnight, the new map fortifies the Philippines' stance, providing a shield against encroachment and a rallying point for national defense. The new map is both a shield and a charter, a lasting statement to the world that the Philippines stands firm in defending its sovereignty and upholding international law. This is our sea, our heritage, and our future. We will protect it, for ourselves and for generations to come.